Okay, guys, I'm here for episode 3 of WCWtober, the review series where I look at every WCW Halloween Havoc pay-per-view for the first half of the month of October. Today's episode is Halloween Havoc 1991, a very infamous Halloween Havoc, predominantly for one particular kind of match. This show took place on October 27, 1991 from the UTC Arena in Chattanooga, Tennessee. There are 11 matches on this card, so our maximum star rating is 55. Our opening contest is an 8-man Chamber of Horrors match. Now, what is a Chamber of Horrors match? Well, they took a cage, they put a smaller cage inside that cage, and inside the smaller cage is an electric chair. And to win the match, you have to put one of your opponents inside the electric chair and flip the switch. So essentially, this is a match that's entire premise of winning is electrocuting somebody. So, yeah, I am not a fan of this match. And the participants in the match are Sting, El Gigante, and the Steiner brothers on one team. And they're taking on Cactus, Jack, Abdullah the Butcher, the Diamond Stud, and Vader. This is a -2-star match, because any match that really deals with a attempted murder in the real world, I most likely will go into negative figures, unless that makes sense for the story line of the story or something. This is just WCW wanting shock factor on a Halloween night. But this is taking 8 guys and putting them in risk of who knows how much problems can stem from being electrocuted, even if it's not even a real electric chair. Who knows the potential problems potentially that could come from that, kayfabe-wise. I don't like this match, so it's -2 stars. It's just a bad concept. And luckily, this is the only match WCW ever did with this idea. So, -2 stars. So then we get Big Josh and P.N. News versus the Creatures. The Creatures were a basic one-off generic team for this Halloween Havoc. I don't know their names. So, this is a half-star tag match. Finishes, Big Josh hits his Northern Exposure butt splash, and then P.N. News jumps off the top rope onto one of the Creatures and wins the match. That's really all that this match is. So, half a star. So now our next match is Beautiful Bobby versus Terrence Taylor. In a very good match. It's a 3-star match. It's a thoroughly enjoyable match. Terrence Taylor, of course, looks at the computer, as is the gimmick of the York Foundation. And eventually Beautiful Bobby gets the win with the Alabama Jam. After roughly, I'd say, 10 to 15 minutes. Good match. Thoroughly enjoyed this match. So, 3 stars. So our next match is Johnny B. Bad versus Jimmy Garvin of the Fabulous Freebirds. Now, I don't really know Jimmy Garvin or Johnny B. Bad are face here. I think they're both heels. And I know that Johnny B. Bad was supposed to face Michael Hayes in this match or something, and Hayes got injured, so Jimmy Garvin took his place, or at least that's what the storyline is. I know that when Johnny B. Bad first came in, and when he was managed by Theodre all along, he was a heel. So, I'm guessing that's what he is, and I'm guessing that for the sake of argument, Jimmy Garvin is a face for this match, but I really don't know. It's an okay match. It's 2 stars. Eventually, after a distraction, John B. Bad hits his left-handed punch and gets the win. 2 stars. So then we get a match for the WCW World Television Championship. Stunning Steve Austin versus Dustin Rhodes. 3.5 stars this match. Very good match. This is a 15-minute time limit match, as most TV championship matches were in that time frame. And it goes a time limit draw. Which is sad because I think that this match is our decisive winner because these two never really met in a singles match that I know of again. And their next meeting after this that I know of on pay-per-view was Wrestle War, and they're both in War Games. But at Wrestle 192, but yeah, this is a very good match. The reason I'm not 4 stars is because I think there should have been a decisive winner either way in this match. 3.5 stars. Very good match, though. Very, very, very good match. So the next match is Bill Kazmier versus Oz. Oh, Kevin Nash, how many failed gimmicks must you have that show up in reviews? Oz was a gimmick doomed to fail, wasn't it? This match isn't good. Kazmier, I'm giving it half a star, and that's because Bill Kazmier, a guy who's over nearly 7 feet tall and over 340 pounds, does a skin the cat move. But he winds up a torture rack. Half a star. Oz came back as Vinny Vegas, so yeah, this is the end of Oz, but we saw him later as Vinny Vegas. Like I said, half a star. So then we get Van Hammer versus Doug Summers. Again, this was supposed to be Michael Hayes. So originally Michael Hayes was booked in 2 matches in this show. That's kind of weird. This is a basic squash match. Doug Summers gets no offense in. Van Hammer wins of a slingshot suplex. And, yeah, that's that. No stars. So then we get the WCW Light Heavyweight Championship Tournament Final, as it's Flyin Brian versus Richard Morton of the York Foundation. I know this was the tournament final. I don't know who each person defeated to get to this final because they don't really talk about it. I will say that one of the most distracting things in this match, is why I don't go 3 stars with this, or even 2.5, is the referee camera, where we see what the referee sees. It's kind of annoying because I don't really know. They used it in the Chamber of Horrors match, but I can possibly understand why you use it in that match. I don't understand why that referee camera is here, which is basically a camera that was put on Nick Patrick's head. I don't know why that's there. In fact, the finish is from the referee camera point of view, so it kind of hurts the thing. But 2 stars for Flyin Brian getting the win. So 2 stars, not a bad match. So then we get the Z-Man versus the WCW Halloween Phantom in a squash match. Who was the WCW Halloween Phantom? Well, the WCW Halloween Phantom was Rick Rude under a mask. Now, this would come to fruition later when Paulie dangerously had a promo with Medusa that essentially was the start of the Dangerous Alliance. Where Ravishing Rick Rude comes in and says that Paulie actually has hired him to be the one to eliminate Sting from WCW or something like that. So, 0 stars for the match. So then we get the WCW World Tag Team Championship match. The Enforcers versus the Patriots. The Enforcers are Arn Anderson and Larry Zbyszko. The Patriots are Todd Champion and Firebreaker Chip, who are dressed like a guy from the Army and a firefighter. I don't know where you get Patriots from that, but whatever. It's WCW in the 90s. In fact, it's wrestling in the 90s, so weird things happened. This isn't that great of a match, honestly. It's 1 star, with the Enforcers winning after Arn Anderson's spine buster, which is a little bit different. Because I, for one, thought, he didn't win many matches of that, so 1 star. So then we get the main event of this show, which is the best match on this show, by the way, as it's the 2 out of 3 falls match for the WCW World Heavyweight Championship. The first time ever that the WCW Championship had been defended in a 2 out of 3 falls match. Excuse me 1 quick second. So it's Lex Luger with Harley Race versus Ron Simmons, who has his one-time manager, Dusty Rhodes, with him. This is a very good match. Ron Simmons wins the first fall very quickly with a power slam. The second fall goes, it goes back and forth, and eventually Luger goes for a crossbody to Simmons, and he looked like they're both going to go over the top, but Harley Race holds on to Ron Simmons tight, and Luger tumbles to the floor over the top, which earns a disqualification, which means Luger wins fall 2. So then we go to fall 3, and it's going all well and good. Ron Simmons then hits his post, hits his shoulder into the post, and then Luger hits the attitude adjustment pile driver and wins the match. 4 stars. I have no real problem with this match. 4 stars. It's a very good match. Ron Simmons, though, won the World Championship in August of '92 and held it till early '93, so he had other chances. Of course, Luger, he would go on to lose the WCW Championship to Sting at the second Super Brawl, and then Luger left to join the WWE. Well, specifically, he left to go join the World Bodybuilding Federation, but when that failed, he just joined the WWFE as a wrestler. So, 4 stars. Very good match. Match of the show. So, taking into effect that the first match loses this show 2 stars, because it's a negative 2-star match, this show gets a 14.5 out of 55. Now, half of 55 is 22.5. This is a full 7 lower, so I have to give this show a D+ rating. So this will be in the WCWtober playlist. On the next episode of WCWtober, we visit Halloween Havoc 1992, which will be uploaded probably tomorrow. So if you like the video, like button is down there, subscribe button is down there, and thank you for watching. Bye.